What's going on, everyone? Cubeologist here again, and today I've got my full review of the new YJ GuanSu. So first off, as usual, thank you to Cubes4Speed for sending this over. They send me a lot of puzzles to test, and I really appreciate it, and I really like the store. So go check them out. I'll put a link in the description to this specific puzzle and to their site in general. Definitely check them out if you're interested in really fast shipping and great puzzles. But now let's talk about the GuanSu. This is one of the newest 4x4s from YJ, and it's gotten the attention of a lot of cubers over the last months due to the fact that it performs fairly well and it's only $7.50 at Cubes4Speed. And with the more popular puzzles like the Moyu Aosu being $25 and even the Yushin at $13 or $14, the idea that you can get good performance from a 4x4 at a fraction of the cost, even of the Yushin, is understandably very popular. But I want to take a look at this puzzle a bit more closely and see if it's everything that the hype has been built up to be, because I'm still a little bit cautious. So I would compare the feel of this puzzle to something like the original Weilong, not exactly, but something like that. It's smooth, but with a slightly blocky feel when you compare it to the current top puzzles. And the corner cutting isn't the best, but corner cutting on a 4x4 isn't really a big issue, and it seems like you have to be a fairly accurate turner to be good at this event regardless. The inner layers as well as the outer layers are all very fast, but it can be controlled with lube, and I think that's kind of necessary because the plastic in this puzzle isn't soft at all. And this seems like an overarching theme with all of these cheaper puzzles lately. But like the Guanlong and the Guanpo, you can help get rid of this feel a little bit with some silicone lube, and just breaking the puzzle in is super important because it takes a little while. Now when you look at the pieces, it's obvious how they've tried to save money, and there's a few different ways they've done this. The design is really minimal. The pieces don't have many bumps or excessive ridges added for performance, and this lack of tracks or indents may contribute to the blocky feel of the puzzle, but that's just speculation on my part. And also, basically every piece is hollowed out, and they used a cap design rather than a split design, so that means no stickerless puzzles. And then there's the fact as well that they didn't add any washers with this puzzle. And all of that combined definitely saves a lot of money when you're talking about mass production. But all of this aside, the puzzle actually performs a lot better than I expected. It holds its shape really well, which was one of my biggest issues with the Yushin 4x4, and it's fast enough to work for really quick solvers, especially if you have a high TPS. This puzzle will not hold you back. You just have to be a little bit patient with the breaking in process, because like most puzzles made with a cheaper or more brittle plastic, it takes a bit longer to break it in, and it's going to feel bad for a longer time at the beginning, but if you hang in there, it does break in really well. So overall, I'm really happy with this release from YJ. For only $7.50 from Cubes4Speed, you can get a puzzle that could take you well under a minute. Now I can't imagine this 4x4 would hold anybody back unless you're world class or just like a very specific feel, and I would absolutely recommend it to someone wanting to get into 4x4 like for the first time, especially if you don't want to spend $25 just yet on an event that you're not even sure you'll like yet. And I have to say, this is a pretty great puzzle, especially when you factor in the price, and I'm really glad that C4S sent it to me. So I really hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the YJ GuanSu 4x4, and maybe even learned something about the puzzle that you didn't know before. And if you liked it, give it a like, and consider subscribing for more reviews like these. Thanks for watching, guys. Cubeologist here, and as you can see, again today, we have an unboxing from Cubes4Speed. Pretty excited about this. I think it's got 3 different puzzles in it, which should be pretty fun. So let's check out the first one. I've already opened it up and taken out the paper with my address on it and stuff like that. So first off, here we have the new batch of the Mayu. So if you guys are familiar with the Mayu, the Kong's design